Alright, so I'm showcasing my first attempt at running the Jungle Cup format in the Great League. So I'm just going to jump right into this video. So in this first one, I get the Vigoroth, and that lead is kind of scary for Cradily. So yeah, this team, I thought Cradily could be very interesting in this format. So I'm trying to, this was the team I was using to try to figure out like what I should be doing in this format, or like kind of scouting to see what people are running as well. But Vigoroth lead is probably one of the worst leads that I could get as Cradily. We don't want to stay in that, and I was still trying to figure out how I wanted to go about playing this team if I did get like a Vigoroth lead or something bad for Cradily. And in this batch I did end up switching into Altaria, but I think as I've started playing this team more, I usually default, even if it's Vigoroth lead, I'll safe swap into my Vigoroth to either scare that Vigoroth out or maybe get lucky and they stay in a bit and try to trade some shields. But yeah, in this battle, pretty much it's started off bad, but because of the way the match played out, we ended up getting some decent alignment, and I still have my Vigoroth completely preserved for the end game here against their Vigoroth. So yeah, we got a little lucky with how that played out, but just trying to get a feel for what's going on here in the Jungle Cup. And yeah, I apologize for the lack of uploads here for the past week. I've been kind of busy. I've actually been working on a secret project for this channel, which should be posted in the next week or two, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I did actually record a video for Ultra Premiere, but I just never edited it and posted it. Sorry about that. I actually haven't been able to play too much this past week as well. I was experimenting a bit with some different types of spice, and my elo definitely suffered for it. So Jungle Cup, I'm not particularly too confident in this format right now, but I do feel like I finally found my footing with this team. I did try a couple different team comps and I wasn't finding too much success with them, but I do feel like it really, there's some things I've noticed, and I'll get more into that as I'll get in this video. But yeah, I really liked Cradily as a lead primarily because of all of the flyers that are in this format, all the mud boys that are in this format. And yeah, it's actually not too shabby. I mean, my Cradily doesn't have the best IVs. It's a shiny, so it hits harder, right? But yeah, I mean, I saw someone running a Ferrothorn in a similar way I was running Cradily, and I think that could be even more unique depending on the matchup. I mean, Cradily can beat Talonflame, so that's one of the main reasons why I like it over something like Ferrothorn. But there are Wigglytuffs running around in this format, and my team in particular can somewhat struggle with Wigglytuff, and I don't particularly think, I mean, yeah, Ferrothorn's not exactly the same as Cradily. They have their own niche play, but they are very similar, that's for sure. But yeah, in this battle, pretty much wasn't too worried about it. I mean, Umbreon is a little, I don't know, I feel like Umbreon might be spicy in this format. I don't really know. Every time I've seen it, at least, it hasn't been too oppressive or threatening to what I had to do. But yeah, in this next battle, this one's kind of interesting because they have Greninja and I have a really nice lead, but they make a great switch out here. Oh, no, they stay in, and they think they take this. Do they shield this? I think they do, afraid that it might be a grass move. But I kind of make a bad call, and I thought, you know, maybe I could eat a Hydro or potentially Night Slash from Altaria, from Greninja. And yeah, I make a preemptive switch here, which allows them to switch out Greninja with their energy. And then I have to kind of contest now with this Shadow Skarmory. So I'm just going to commit my shield because at this point I figured they're probably just going to let it go and I'll at least win switch. But the thing is, this doesn't particularly mean this is going to be that good for me either. And I make a really, again, I'm trying to like figure out how to play through this format, but Clodsire is pretty problematic for these three Pokemon that I did put together. And I guess when I was playing this, I was thinking I want to use Cradily as my closer because of Greninja, but I think Cradily would have actually been the better switch in here in preserving Vigoroth or the Greninja. I mean, to be fair, the Greninja is loaded with energy, and 2 Hydros are still going to hurt regardless of if it hits Cradily or Vigoroth at this point. But yeah, it gets a little too close for comfort here. They're going to be able to remove Cradily just barely. Oh my gosh, actually they go for the Night Slash there. So they had a little bit less energy than I thought, but maybe they also were just throwing the Night Slash because they figured it would take out and they could preserve some of that energy. But yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point because I guess it could have tried throwing that Rock Slide. Actually, maybe if I would have thrown... No, it wouldn't have mattered. There's no way I could have won this at this point. GG's, well played. Yeah, Clodsire, I've realized playing through with this team, Clodsire can be kind of problematic for my team. Also, Abomasnow in the back is extremely oppressive, which I do have some matches showcasing that matchup, because it seems like a meta call maybe, or a meta shift. I mean, I've only been playing this format for like a day or so, but it seems that as I was playing, I was noticing a lot of people running Abomasnow as a closer, and yeah, I feel like this team will struggle if we end up facing that exact line. But I do have, I did make some adjustments, and depending on how my next battles and sets go, like tonight and tomorrow, I'll probably make a follow-up video for this team or for Jungle Cup in general. Also, let me know in the comments below, what are you running in this format? Like, what do you find exciting to run? What's consistent with you? I mean, Vigoroth is always pretty good in most formats it appears in, but the Clodsire does a great job of dealing with Vigoroth in this format as well. And I mean, even like Charjabug could be kind of interesting as a closer with if people seem to be running Flyers or Abomasnow as their closer. In this next match, we get the very ideal lead of Wishcash. Yeah, if we get these Mudboy leads, that's super good. It's more just trying to manage and retain some sort of alignment. And because the Wishcash is staying in, I'm just kind of taking advantage of building some extra energy, and they do end up commuting a shield, which I thought was very interesting. The Grass Knot's still going to be lethal even with the attack drop from Scald. In comes their Vigoroth, and I'm just going to bring in my Vigoroth, and they end up bringing Lantern, which is quite okay because at this point I can also look to my Altaria to help finishing up the match. But yeah, pretty much I'm just going to let Vigoroth take as much damage as possible here from Lantern. I'm not really too concerned about preserving my own Vigoroth. And I think I bring in Altaria, or maybe I bring in Cradily and just tank a move. Okay, no, I bring in Altaria because even Thunderbolt isn't too scary here, but I knew I was going to be faced with a Surf. So I didn't shield. And this could have been bait, but at the same time, it's not really worth risking. It's better for me to shield the Rock Slides, because if they land one Rock Slide, they could technically start spamming Body Slams to try to finish me up. But yeah, pretty much this is looking pretty dang good. Amazing call there, honestly, to catch a Body Slam, but yeah. I caught another one there on Cradily. I guess I just didn't see the value in preserving. Oh, they made an amazing switch here, though. Honestly, that was kind of clutch for them. I was like, dang, no way. But fortunately, we still come out on top here. Yeah, people have gotten so good at this game. I mean, if you count, you're already in a good place, you know, trying to predict your opponents. But yeah, there's a 4-1 set, trying to test out if I like this team or not. Next team battle. I got Steelix lead, which typically I'm going to stay in with Cradily and try to just throw Grass Knots and chip as much damage. A lot of times, the way I like to play this, I think I play it this way in this, I'll see, but I usually will take the first move and then insta-swap into Vigoroth. So they end up throwing the Breaking Swipe, and I'm going to switch out, and they do end up having Quagsire, so I'm not going to shield at all. I'm just going to throw as much damage on Quagsire as possible. That way, even if I lose switch, I'm okay with it at this point, because I'm thinking potentially Cradily might be good against their backline. I mean, sometimes people like to structure their teams A, B, B, you know? So typically if they're switching in something like a Mud Boy. I'm assuming maybe it's a flyer in the back. It could be double Mud Boy also. That does occasionally be the case. But yeah, I'm just going to bring in my Cradily now, farm down. I'm not going to shield the Aquatel, take a little bit of chip damage. It's quite okay. Also, hit that like button if you're watching this. It does help my content out a lot here on YouTube. And yeah, now I just throw the Grass Knot, and it ends up being Vigoroth in the back, which can be a little scary, but because we have that shield advantage, this puts me in a much better scenario. And they do make a good call and try to go for the bait. And I do waste a shield there, so a little unfortunate, but I think it doesn't matter too much because even if I take a Rock Slide here, they're still going to have to throw at least another Rock Slide. I mean, actually at this point they can just throw the Body Slam. But I can just throw the Sky Attack and barely remove Vigoroth, and in comes that Steelix. And at this point I can just let the move from Breaking Swipe go through, and I can use Bullet Seed on Cradily for the win. The GG's there. Alright, so I get a Vigoroth lead, and I think I do play this the way I started adapting. Oh wait, the way I've been... Oh, okay, actually, that's right, I did change how I play these. What I do now is I actually stay in and I try to throw a Rock Slide on Vigoroth. And because there's not really a move Vigoroth can throw into Cradily that can hit too hard unless it has Brick Break. So I'm really hoping for them to throw a Body Slam and not shield. And then I'll switch in my Vigoroth. And in this scenario, I actually don't shield at all. I guess I didn't feel like I needed to, but I typically will commit one shield here just to create more of a health for my Vigoroth so I can potentially stay in longer on whatever they bring in. And in this scenario, it ends up working more in my favor because we have the shield advantage. I'm going to bring in Altaria in on Mantine just so I can shield the Ice Beam and just kind of build up some energy. I'll even commit 2 shields here. I find it to be quite okay as long as I can get rid of this Mantine. And they do stay in, and it ends up being Wishcash in the back. I'm just going to throw the Moonblast because there is a chance it can get an attack drop. It's very rare, and that does happen to be the case here, and my opponent realizes there's nothing they can do because most Wishcash these days are not running Blizzard. And yeah, so that's a GG. So I get another Vigoroth lead, and I do end up playing this the same way that I played the previous match. And as you can see, kind of similar how they play it as well. And yeah, I'm going to switch now. This way it creates like a buffer zone for Vigoroth, my Vigoroth coming in. And I guess I decide not to shield here as well. I play this set relatively similar. And I'm going to throw the Rock Slide. I mean, technically, you don't want to put yourself in a scenario where someone might bring in a Pokemon that can farm down Vigoroth and really take advantage of gaining that energy. So this might be a better decision the way I'm playing it right here. But yeah, it's all about like a big part of playing Pokemon Go Battle League is trying to think clearly in a fast-paced environment. And sometimes the best way to win a match is not get too nervous about a bad lead and try to like at least like whittle away and chip away some damage on that Pokemon. I mean, this is an example of pretty much Abomasnow being extremely advantageous in this position. So yeah, they had this pretty much this entire team has great alignment against me. The Vigoroth lead was bad for me, but then them having Abomasnow in the back, that's actually a pretty good team against what I'm running. It's really oppressive. I can't really do much with the Abomasnow in the back, especially with Altaria being my closer, at least in this variation of the team I was designing. So my opponent brings in Jump Love here, and instead of switching out immediately, I'm just going to throw my Rock Slides because they are going to hurt, and they do end up committing 1 shield, so it's a little even. Excuse me. It's a little even on the shields right now, and I'm going to bring in Vigoroth and just try to remove this Jump Love. I'm just going to go for Rock Slide. I'm not going to bait, because if they don't shield and I Body Slam, then they will be able to take that hit. They bring back in Mantine, and I'm just going to let it go through. And I'm going to just try my best to play out through this match. I'll bring back in Cradily, I think, is what I end up doing. And yeah, Cradily is pretty decent. I mean, getting access to Rock Slide was a nice buff for Cradily. As prior, we would have to run Stone Edge for the most part. I I think I just let this go through, but it is an aerial ace, which is a really nice bait, to be honest, on their end. And I'm thinking this is another aerial ace, but I can live it, so I'm just going to keep going for that farm down. I have a lot of energy left on me. They have Charge-a-Bug in the back. I'm just going to launch my Rock Slide, but unfortunately, even though I had 2, the Volt Switch does remove me. And I'm going to switch in Altaria. Well, I don't switch in, it has to come in because there's nothing left. But yeah, at this point, it's pretty much game. I'm not going to throw the Sky Attack because it won't do enough damage. So I'm just going to throw Moon Blast. And yeah, at this point, it's just a little bit of a Dragon Breath away from taking down the Charge-a-Bug. So GG's there. And this is another tough battle. This is actually a very... I think I've seen this team variation a couple times when I was running this last night. So they're running Mantine lead, which isn't the worst for our team, but Ice Beam is still going to be a little threatening. And they make a great call and go for the bait moves here. And they also make a great switch counting. I mean, like, this is really just an unfortunate scenario for me to throw that Rock Slide. And also, the way I immediately switched to Vigoroth here, maybe not the most advantageous way to play this. I was thinking about this a little bit more. I probably should have stayed in with Cradily, went for a Grass Knot, but also took a Psychic Fang to the face and immediately switched out the minute they threw it. So I definitely kind of got, this is exactly what I was talking about, is it's important to kind of be more patient and not just have a reactionary, like, we want to be fast about switching in on certain things, correct? But sometimes it's better to stay in with an unfavorable matchup and get off some chip damage. That way, when you do switch something in, it has a little bit of an easier time handling that. It takes a little bit of time to kind of see and understand when that's the more appropriate time to do that. But I think in this match, I would have been better off. I mean, to be fair, the main reason why I say that is because I needed Vigoroth to even do anything to that Abomasnow. But yeah, those were my first Jungle Cup battles in the Great League, I think ever, to be honest. And let me know what you think, and thanks for tuning in today's video. The Sass Squad's getting stronger each and every day. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you want to check out more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here or this video right here.